Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today is the third and final installment of the new colors that I bought from the Dior Couleurs, and this is the color Copper. And there she is. It's somewhat reminiscent, honestly, of something I think I saw Lisa Eldridge play with years ago. I mean, there's nothing new under the sun, and I'm hoping that it's not too copper, because coppers are a little bit hard for me. I don't even know if I would say they're a little hard for me. I'm over them. That's what it is. I'm over them. But I have put together a bunch of makeup here that I want to try and do some kind of a coppery look, and I'll be changing. I had laid out everything I was planning to use for today's video last night, but no accounting for weather. We're going to forge ahead because I'm not sure that it actually looks that bad. So let's start with this. We'll do some swatching, and this is the top row, so we'll start with the lightest. And there they are. Wow, that's a lot of shimmer on this one. And this is the matte, and I think this has some shimmer as well. Hard to tell because it's the pinky. There we go. And then the center shade, which appears to be like a peach. And I would say it's a matte. Looking closely with my magnifying glass, the dark color here looks like it's the very same formula of the first one I tried, that aubergine color that I had a big problem with. So we're definitely going to be investigating that. But let's start with this. Picks up nicely. Doesn't appear to be any fallout. Hard to tell with the light the way it is now. Well, there is a little sheen to this. Wow, I just fogged up my mirror. I think it's humid out. So yesterday I tried the Toile de Jouy. I find I have to say that 3 times before I can say it in a natural way. Toile de Jouy. Toile de Jouy. And I actually like that. I thought that was a good way to go about these color tones without committing to something super strong. So let's go in next with this one. Let's see what happens. And this is Wangos 18. Yeah, ooh. Hello Pigmented O. I'm using the lightest touch. Wow. Hello. Hello. Okay, that's kind of throwing me for a loopity-loop, you guys. That's a brush. I'm getting that kind of payout. That's crazy. Okay, let's go in with that brown because I'm a little bit concerned about it. Now, I would want to do it by the lash line because it's very dark for me, but someone else would, feel very comfortable doing some darkening on the outer third. I am going to take this Chikuhodo kind of a pencil brush and try to do it by the lash line. And I can't tell if I got a little fallout on that. I'm getting payoff on this. So that's interesting. It looks exactly like that aubergine in the Pink Glow, but it is performing very differently. So I'm just going to try to do a little deepening up with whatever's left, which isn't much, and there's definitely payoff on this. So I don't know if there's something wrong with that particular palette, or if it was a run. Or, I do wonder, are limited editions produced differently? Wowsy, wowsy, wows. So I suppose what we need to do next is go in with this one. And I'm going to not go in with my finger. I'm going to go in with this little teeny blender and no fallout at all. And kind of burnish it this looks to me like a very autumnal look. I'm not really sure. I'm not saying it doesn't look good. I mean, I'm sitting here going, wow, I kind of am enjoying these colors, but I'm thinking this is great for fall when the leaves are turning and when we're all getting our pumpkin spice. Oh my gosh, I really want a pumpkin spice. It doesn't make sense to me this time of year, which begs the question, maybe this was something that was planned for fall and it just, the production wasn't working as well because of the COVID. I know that we certainly had issues with Chanel where they released things in many other countries but not the United States, and maybe some things were just pushed back because they didn't have the production ability. I do feel like this shade, the only thing I could see for this is inner highlight, but I'm not feeling it. It does look a little bit more like a topper shade, and it is quite pretty. I don't know if I'd want to top it on top of this personally, but let's, you know, see if it makes a difference. A little bit. I think for me the most difficult thing with a palette like this is how do I blend out the edges, because they're not giving me anything to do that with. So I am going to go in with a powder. So I'm going to do the Makeup by Mario with this Ray Morris brush and see if I can blend out a little bit, because it feels hard. And I feel like if I blend out the color itself, it's just going to go higher and higher, and I don't really want a super high look. And mind you, had I used a more fluffy brush to apply this, maybe I wouldn't have gotten that much, but the brush I used is more like a lay down brush, I feel, and it paid. Is it groundbreaking? Have we seen these before? I'm going to say it's not groundbreaking, and if you already have something in this vibe, you may not need it, but I will say that these powders are very nice. The dark color looks exactly in formula like the one from Pink Glow, and it performed unlike the Pink Glow, and pretty nice blend when you would just do it with the powders. So that's not a disappointment at all. So I am going to do my under eyes. Well, no, I'm not. Should I? I don't know. I feel like I need to do powdering because I want to do the Victoria Beckham again. I wanted to try it with a regular sunscreen that doesn't impart any color, which I did today, and the La Mer, but it feels like I'm a little afraid to go on with this until I powder. So let me first do blush, which I'm going to do some creams. So first off, I'm going to do the Vanish from Hourglass, and this is in the color Loyal, and I thought that that's a nice color story, that they're relating to each other nicely. I'm just going to pick up with my fingers. Just a little something, so the eyes will be the star of this story. Believe me, once I get the under eyes done, I think this is going to pop. Okay, should I do the mascara before I do my under eyes? Probably not, but I'm gonna. So this is the mascara that I got with my purchase, and I used it yesterday for the first time. I really enjoyed it. It did not flake, it did not smudge, and it wasn't hard to take off. And it feels nice going on. Like sometimes you feel that there's a clumpiness going on or something's grabbing. I don't get that feeling. I'm going to try doing a little bit of lower lash line. And now I'm going to go in with this Ciroc color just for a little bit of pop on the front of the cheeks. Just the teeniest bit, whatever was there, which wasn't much. Okay, I lied. Maybe a little bit more. So with this one, whoops, I probably got too much. Just to keep this sponge, this icky, useless sponge clean, probably better to put it on your hand and pick it up that way. And it's the same color story, in the same color family, but just a little poppy. All right, I'm going to do my under eyes, and then I'm going to powder because we're done with the cream, and then we're going to do lip and do this one more time. Okay, of course I had to put on something that it was a little more fitting with the eye look, and I powdered my face and I did my under eyes, and let's go back into the Victoria Beckham Matte Bronzing Brick in shade 01. Again, I'm going in with the Suicube brush, and we're going to go in with the lightest color. I saw someone do a review on this, and they had really good lighting so you could tell what was going on. These definitely are darker on the face than they are in the pan. Well, I can't, now I'm going to say maybe their light wasn't ideal because they looked very light when she showed them, lighter than mine, and she had one that was darker than mine, so there's that. Top of the cheekbones and the top of the cheeks and over the nose, and a little on the chin. I think it's very subtle, but there, it just brought a little bit of light to the face. Now, we could blend them together and get everything more, but before we try that, let's just do this one and do a little contouring with this. I don't want to, I'm not huge on contouring, you guys. It's not that I couldn't use it. I understand that my face is, chubby. It's just I don't like that contour look. I'm just blending out the edges so it's really hardly noticeable, hopefully. Just a little something. And just a touch. I normally would not do this. And then for the lip, this is the Rare Beauty, and I will put it down below because it's a little too small for me to read even with my magnifying glass. And yeah, it's like monochromatic, you guys. We're just going to stay in that warm look. I love these. They smell like vanilla, and they're really comfortable. And I guess, to me, this is a fall look. I am wearing a sweater, though. I can see how instead of a matte lip, you could do something orange and juicy, but pigmented. Like the Tower 28 doesn't have a lot of pigment to it, but I'm thinking maybe something like that. Laura Mercier has beautiful lipsticks. I can't remember the range, what it's called, but I'll put it below. And she has a couple that are orange, and they're very comfortable. And I can see how you could, make this a summer look. Of course, the hair has to come down because I got a lot of comments on the hair. So this is like day 3 or 4 of this braid, and it changes every day depending, what's going on. But that's it, you guys. So what do I think? I think the payoff with this palette is better than all 3. However, I do love the Toile de Jouy because it's not as much. It's not as much a look, but honestly, this isn't as much a look either. I mean, it could be more, but then when you close your eyes, it is. But when my eyes are open, aha, the benefits of being hooded. It doesn't look like too much. It's actually nice, and I'm kind of digging it. Now, in the first video, I did pull out my palette from NARS, the Summer Solstice, and I did see a lot of similarities to this. I'm just going to swatch this, and we can just go over the entire color story. So this is the Rare Beauty lip. This is the Dior palette. This is the blush from Sept, and this is the blush from Hourglass, and I added a little bit more, so it's not quite that dark. I swatched it but didn't blend it at all. So it's a very kind of warmy, neutrally look. Let me go get the NARS and we'll take a look. Okay, so here they are together, and they relate to each other. They're not the same. They're not the same. But will they have the same effect on the eyes? I think is very, very possible. For instance, this brown is very, very warm, while this one is cool. This brown is too light, although you could maybe use it for blending out the edges. This color right here is really pretty, and there's nothing like it in this one. This, I feel, that's kind of close. Let's put it here. So there it is here. So it's brighter than this one. But you know, we're just kind of splitting hairs, right? Let's do this one. So this one to this one. They're similar, but this, by the way, is not only has that foiled metallic nature to it, but there's sparkles in it, and I happen to love that. And what else do we have? There's not a peach color matte in here, so this would take the place of that. So if that's important to you, you're not going to get it. Well, actually, we already determined it's not actually matte. It's a little bit of a satin. The question is, can you do a look very, very similar if you already have the Solstice? Yes, you can. And the quality of the Solstice is very nice as well. So quality-wise, there's not one better than the other. It's just a personal preference. You will have to dig into something else to get that dark brown. I do think this is very pretty, and I'm kind of surprised because every time I put on something that's very coppery, I always think, you know, this works actually for my skin tone, and it works for my hair color, and it works for my eye color. I know it does. It's not my groove. It's not my thing. And yet I feel like the look that I did today isn't too crazy. So I don't know, but I would say out of the three palettes, this one had no fussiness at all, where the first one definitely had some fussiness, and the second one isn't a powerful look. And that's another thing. This is a powerful look, this is a powerful look, but the Toile de Jouy is not powerful, and that might suit someone like me, someone who has smaller eyes and hooded eyes and a lighter complexion, where I feel when something's too much, it kind of takes everything over, although I don't feel like this takes everything over, I gotta tell you. So you guys, that is it. I hope this was helpful when making your decisions on whether this is a palette you want to do, or maybe this is a palette you want to do. And that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.